When it comes to relationships, one of the biggest questions many people find themselves asking is, does he like me as more than just a friend? While some guys are direct about their feelings, others show their emotions in subtle, indirect ways. This can leave you wondering whether he truly sees you as just a close friend, or if there's something deeper beneath the surface. Unlike women, who may openly express their emotions, many men communicate their feelings through actions rather than words. They might not come out and say, "I like you," but they will find small, meaningful ways to show it. It could be through consistent effort, protective gestures, or even the way they talk about the future with you in it. If you've ever felt like he treats you differently from his other friends, initiates more contact, or pays extra attention to you, you're probably picking up on the signs that he sees you as more than just a friend. One of the biggest indicators that a guy is interested in you romantically is how much time and energy he invests in your connection. Does he prioritize you over others? Does he remember small details about your life and check in on you? These little things may seem insignificant at first, but they reveal how much you mean to him. A guy who is truly interested will make an effort to be part of your life, not just when it's convenient for him, but because he genuinely enjoys your presence. Another sign to pay attention to is how he reacts when you mention other guys. If he seems a little jealous or suddenly loses interest in the conversation, it could be because he sees you as someone he wants to be with. Jealousy, even when subtle, often means he has feelings beyond friendship. Similarly, physical touch is another major indicator. If he finds small reasons to touch you, whether it's a light touch on the arm, a lingering hug, or brushing his hand against yours, it's likely that he feels a deeper attraction. The way he listens and supports you emotionally also speaks volumes. A guy who is genuinely interested in you will not only be there during the good times, but will also offer comfort and encouragement during difficult moments. He will remember things you've said in past conversations, celebrate your achievements, and make you feel valued and understood. Perhaps the most telling sign is how he includes you in his future. If he talks about future plans with you in mind, whether it's as simple as planning a trip together, or mentioning where he sees himself in a few years with you still in his life, it's a strong indication that he doesn't just see you as a temporary friend, he envisions something long-term. Understanding these signs can help you determine whether a guy sees you as just a friend or if he's hoping for something more. While every person is different, actions often speak louder than words, and if he consistently shows signs of interest, chances are he's waiting for the right moment to take things to the next level. 1. He finds excuses to spend time with you. When a guy is more than just a friend, one of the clearest signs is that he constantly finds excuses to spend time with you. It's not just about hanging out in a group or seeing you when it's convenient. He goes out of his way to be around you, even if there isn't a strong reason to. He might suggest casual meetups, offer to help with small tasks, or suddenly take an interest in activities you enjoy. These efforts show that he values your presence and wants to be close to you as much as possible. Even in busy schedules, he manages to make time for you. If you mention needing to run an errand, he might volunteer to come along, even if it's something as simple as grocery shopping. If you're struggling with a project or assignment, he may offer his help, even if it's outside his expertise. His willingness to be available is not just a coincidence. It's an indication that he genuinely enjoys being around you and seeks opportunities to create shared moments. Another way he makes excuses to be near you is by randomly checking in or starting conversations that don't necessarily have a purpose. He might text you out of the blue just to ask how your day is going, or bring up a small, insignificant topic just to keep the conversation flowing. Even when he has no real reason to call or message, he still does because he wants to stay connected. Physical proximity is also a telling factor. In group settings, he may subtly position himself near you, sit next to you, or make sure you're involved in the conversation. He might even make spontaneous plans, suggesting a coffee run or a late-night walk, just to extend the time he gets to spend with you. His actions indicate that being around you is a priority, even when there's no pressing reason for it. These little efforts may seem casual, but they hold meaning. When someone is just a friend, they don't typically go out of their way to be around you without a specific reason. But when a guy is interested in more than friendship, he will find ways, sometimes even the smallest ones, to be close to you, ensuring that he gets more opportunities to bond and deepen the connection. 2. He remembers small details about you. When a guy is more than just a friend, he pays close attention to the little things about you. He doesn't just listen when you speak. He remembers the small details that most people would overlook. Whether it's your favorite coffee order, the way you like your food prepared, or a random story you told weeks ago, he recalls these things effortlessly. This is because he genuinely values what you say and takes an interest in even the tiniest aspects of your life. You might casually mention your favorite childhood movie, and the next time you're together, he brings it up or even suggests watching it. If you once talked about a stressful deadline or an important event, he remembers to ask how it went, showing that he's not just hearing you but actually storing these details in his mind. This kind of attentiveness goes beyond casual friendship. It's a sign that he truly cares. He also remembers your likes and dislikes, adjusting his actions accordingly. If you once mentioned that you don't like spicy food, he'll make sure to suggest places with milder options when dining out. If you're feeling down, he knows exactly what might cheer you up, whether it's your favorite snack, a certain song, or a simple text checking in on you. His ability to recall these small details proves that he sees you as more than just another friend. He's genuinely invested in making you feel special. Even in conversations, he brings up things from the past that you may not even remember telling him. Whether it's a specific book you wanted to read, a dream you shared about your future, or a random joke you made once, he recalls them because he's truly engaged in what you say. This kind of memory isn't something most people apply to casual friendships. It's a deeper level of attention that reveals his affection. Remembering small details isn't just about having a good memory. It's about prioritizing someone in your thoughts. If he takes the time to hold on to little things about you, it's a strong sign that you mean more to him than just a friend. It shows that he values your connection, enjoys learning about you, and wants to make you feel important in his life. 3. He gets jealous when you talk about other guys. When a guy is more than just a friend, one of the biggest giveaways is his reaction when you mention other guys. Even if he tries to hide it, there will be subtle, or not so subtle, signs of jealousy. He might change the subject quickly, make sarcastic or dismissive comments, or even go quiet for a moment. His body language could shift, crossed arms, tense posture, or forced laughter, because deep down, he doesn't like the idea of you being interested in someone else. Jealousy doesn't always come in an obvious or dramatic way. Sometimes it appears in small, seemingly insignificant reactions. If you mention a guy from work or a friend who asked you out, he might casually ask a lot of questions. Who is he? What does he do? Are you interested in him? As if he's just curious. But in reality, he's trying to gauge if this guy is a threat. He may also compare himself to the other guy, making jokes like, "Well, I bet he's not as funny as me," or "I don't see what's so special about him." These subtle hints show that he cares more than he lets on. In some cases, he may try to downplay the other guy's importance. If you talk about someone you admire, he might respond with a dismissive, "Oh, he's not that great," or point out flaws just to make himself feel better. He may even bring up his own qualities in a way that subtly reminds you of his presence, as if to say, "Hey, don't forget about me." On the flip side, some guys respond to jealousy by pulling away. If he suddenly acts distant or uninterested after you mention another guy, it could be because he's feeling insecure or hurt. He might not want to admit that he's jealous, so instead, he tries to protect himself by creating space. This reaction often happens when a guy has feelings but hasn't fully expressed them yet. At the end of the day, jealousy stems from care and emotional attachment. A guy who sees you only as a friend wouldn't be bothered by your dating life. But if he has deeper feelings, any mention of another man will trigger some kind of reaction, whether it's playful teasing, questioning, or quiet frustration. His jealousy, no matter how subtle, is a clear indication that he sees you as more than just a friend. 4. He prioritizes you over others. When a guy sees you as more than just a friend, he naturally prioritizes you over others. No matter how busy he is, he finds ways to make time for you, even if it means adjusting his own plans. Whether it's choosing to hang out with you instead of his other friends or making sure he's available when you need him, his actions show that you hold a special place in his life. One of the clearest signs is how he responds when you need help or support. If you mention that you're feeling down, he doesn't just send a quick "hope you feel better" text. He makes an effort to be there for you, whether it's calling to check in, offering to meet up, or doing something thoughtful to lift your mood. Even if he has prior commitments, he may try to rearrange his schedule just to be available when you need him. Another sign of prioritization is how quickly he responds to you. If you text or call, he gets back to you faster than he does with others. He doesn't leave you waiting for hours or days without a response because he values your conversations and enjoys talking to you. Even if he's busy, he'll send a quick message to let you know he'll reply soon, just so you don't feel ignored. He also prioritizes spending time with you, even when there's no specific reason to. If he has multiple options for how to spend his free time, he'll often choose to be with you. Maybe he skips a casual night out with his friends just to meet you for coffee, or he makes time for a long phone call even after a hectic day. His willingness to adjust his schedule proves that you're not just another person in his life. You're someone he genuinely wants to be around. Beyond that, he values your opinions and preferences. If he's making a decision, whether it's about weekend plans, a trip, or even small choices like where to eat, he considers what you would like. Your thoughts matter to him, and he wants to make sure you feel included and valued. At the core, prioritization is about effort. A regular friend might care about you, but a guy who consistently puts you first, especially when he doesn't have to, is showing clear signs that you mean more to him than just friendship. 5. He gives you long, meaningful eye contact. When a guy is more than just a friend, his eyes will often give away his true feelings. One of the strongest signs is the way he looks at you. His eye contact lasts longer than usual, and there's a certain depth to it that feels different from casual interactions. It's not just a passing glance. It's a meaningful, intentional gaze that lingers because he's truly captivated by you. Unlike the quick eye contact we make during normal conversations, his eyes stay locked onto yours for a few extra seconds, as if he's trying to communicate something unspoken. Even in a group setting, you may catch him looking at you when he thinks you're not paying attention. When your eyes meet, he might hold your gaze a little longer than expected, before looking away, with a small smile or a subtle shift in expression. These silent moments can be incredibly powerful, revealing emotions he might not yet be ready to say out loud. His eyes also soften when he looks at you, reflecting warmth, admiration, or even nervous excitement. If he's truly into you, his pupils may dilate slightly, a subconscious reaction that happens when someone is deeply engaged or attracted. You might also notice that when you talk, he maintains steady eye contact, showing that he's fully present and interested in every word you say. Unlike a casual friend who might look away or get distracted, he stays focused on you, as if you're the only person in the room. In more intimate moments, his gaze may drop to your lips, hinting that he's thinking about getting closer. If he does this while you're mid-conversation, it's a strong sign that his feelings go beyond friendship. Sometimes, he might even break eye contact quickly and look down, not because he's uninterested, but because he feels shy or overwhelmed by his emotions. Eye contact is one of the most powerful nonverbal cues of attraction, and when a guy repeatedly gives you long, meaningful gazes, it's a strong indication that he sees you as more than just a friend. His eyes reveal what words might not, and if you feel a certain intensity when he looks at you, chances are he feels something deeper than he's letting on. 6. He compliments you more than a regular friend would. When a guy is more than just a friend, his compliments go beyond the usual casual remarks. While friends may compliment each other from time to time, his compliments are more frequent, thoughtful, and sometimes even a little personal. He notices things about you that others might overlook and makes sure to let you know. Instead of just generic comments like, "You look nice," he might say something more specific like, "That color really suits you," or "Your smile makes my day better." His compliments often highlight unique details, such as how your laugh is contagious, or how he admires the way you handle difficult situations. This shows that he's paying close attention to you, not just your looks, but also your personality, talents, and the way you carry yourself. Another sign is the way he delivers these compliments. There's often a warmth in his tone, or a softness in his eyes that makes it feel more meaningful. Sometimes he may even say something that sounds flirty or teasing, like, "How do you always manage to look this good?" Or, "I swear you make everything look effortless." These playful but sincere remarks are his way of expressing admiration while keeping things light-hearted. He may also compliment you in moments when you least expect it. If you're having a bad day or feeling unsure about yourself, he's the one who reminds you how amazing you are. He doesn't just compliment your appearance, he also praises your intelligence, kindness, creativity, or the way you make people feel comfortable around you. Unlike a regular friend, he goes out of his way to make you feel special. Another subtle sign is how he reacts when others compliment you. If someone else tells you that you look good, he might agree enthusiastically or add his own comment, reinforcing that he's been thinking the same thing. He may even get slightly possessive or playful about it, making sure you know that he's always been aware of how special you are. Ultimately, the difference between a friend's compliment and a guy who's into you is the depth and consistency. If he frequently compliments you in a way that feels personal and meaningful, it's a strong sign that he sees you as more than just a friend. 7. He texts or calls you first. When a guy is more than just a friend, one of the biggest signs is that he frequently initiates contact. Whether it's through texts, calls, or even social media messages, he consistently reaches out first because he genuinely wants to talk to you. Unlike a regular friend, who might only text when there's a specific reason, he messages you just to check in, share something funny, or keep the conversation going. You may notice that he texts you "good morning" or "good night," small but meaningful gestures that show you're on his mind at the start and end of his day. He doesn't wait for you to text first. He takes the initiative because he enjoys your company and wants to stay connected. Even if he doesn't have much to say, he'll find an excuse to start a conversation, whether it's a funny meme, a random thought, or just asking about your day. If he calls you out of the blue, it's an even stronger sign. Most people don't call just for casual chit-chat unless they feel a deeper connection. He might say he just wanted to hear your voice or had something to tell you, but deep down, he just wants to talk to you. If he regularly calls when he could have easily sent a text, it's a clear indication that he enjoys your presence beyond simple friendship. Another sign is how quickly he responds when you text him. Even if he's busy, he makes an effort to reply promptly, or at least let you know he'll get back to you soon. He doesn't leave you waiting for hours or days, because he values your conversations and doesn't want to leave you hanging. If he's always eager to keep the chat going and rarely lets the conversation die, it shows he genuinely enjoys talking to you. He might also text you with updates about his day, things that remind him of you, or random thoughts he thinks you'd find interesting. This shows that he's not just talking to you when he's bored. He wants to include you in his life and make you feel important. At the end of the day, when a guy is constantly reaching out first, it's because he wants to keep that connection alive. Regular friends may chat occasionally, but someone who is truly into you will find ways to stay in touch, making sure you never go too long without hearing from him. 8. He acts protective around you. When a guy is more than just a friend, he naturally becomes protective of you, even in small, everyday situations. This isn't about being controlling or possessive. It's about making sure you feel safe, comfortable, and cared for. His protective instincts come out in both subtle and obvious ways, showing that he sees you as someone special. One of the most noticeable signs is how he looks out for your safety. If you're walking together, he might position himself on the side closer to the road or gently guide you away from potential hazards. If you're out late, he might insist on walking you home, making sure you get to your destination safely. Even small actions like checking in to see if you got home okay or offering to pick you up instead of letting you take a risky route show that he genuinely cares. He also gets protective in social situations. If someone is making you uncomfortable, he may step in, whether it's subtly moving closer to you, changing the subject, or directly calling the person out. If you're dealing with a tough situation at work, school, or in your personal life, he might offer advice, encourage you to stand up for yourself, or even express frustration on your behalf. His concern isn't just about physical safety. He wants to make sure you're emotionally okay too. Another way he shows his protective side is by looking out for your well-being. If he notices you skipping meals, overworking yourself, or feeling stressed, he reminds you to take care of yourself. He might bring you food, encourage you to rest, or insist that you take a break when you need it. His protectiveness isn't about control. It's about making sure you're happy and healthy. His body language also gives away his protective nature. If you're in a crowded place, he may place a hand on your back to guide you through. If you're crossing a busy street, he might instinctively reach for your hand. These gestures are small but significant, revealing his natural desire to keep you safe and close. Ultimately, when a guy acts protective around you, it's because he sees you as more than just a friend. His concern, attentiveness, and willingness to step up when needed all point to deeper feelings. He doesn't just care about you, he wants to make sure nothing and no one harms you, proving that you hold a special place in his heart. 9. He initiates physical touch, light touches, hugs, etc. When a guy is more than just a friend, he will often find subtle ways to initiate physical touch. These touches aren't forceful or accidental. They are intentional, gentle, and natural, showing that he wants to be close to you. Physical touch is one of the strongest non-verbal ways people express affection, and if he consistently finds excuses to touch you, whether through light touches, playful nudges, or warm hugs, it's a clear sign that he sees you as more than just a friend. One of the most common ways he does this is through casual, light touches. He might brush his hand against yours while walking, place his hand on your back when guiding you through a crowd, or fix something on your clothing, like a loose strand of hair or a tag sticking out. These small gestures may seem innocent, but they indicate that he's comfortable with physical closeness and wants to bridge the gap between friendship and something more. Another sign is how he reacts to physical touch from you. If you playfully tap his arm or rest your hand on his shoulder, he doesn't pull away. Instead, he leans into it or even reciprocates. He may also find small excuses to make contact, such as high-fiving you more often than necessary, holding onto your hand a second longer when passing something to you, or playfully bumping into you when walking side by side. Hugs are another big indicator. If he's the one initiating hugs frequently, and they last a little longer than usual, it's a strong sign that he enjoys being close to you. Unlike quick, friendly hugs, his might feel warmer, firmer, or more lingering. He may also hug you in moments when it's not entirely necessary, like when saying hello or goodbye, just to create more physical connection. In group settings, you might notice that he sits close to you, his leg brushing against yours, or that he positions himself near you when standing. These subtle forms of physical touch show that he's drawn to you and wants to maintain a level of closeness beyond what typical friends do. Ultimately, physical touch is a powerful way to express attraction, and if he consistently finds reasons to touch you in a warm, comfortable, and affectionate way, it's a strong sign that he wants to be more than just friends. His actions speak louder than words, revealing that he feels a deeper connection with you. 10. He talks about the future with you in it. When a guy sees you as more than just a friend, he naturally includes you in his future plans. Whether it's small, casual mentions or deeper conversations, the fact that he envisions a future with you in it is a strong sign of his feelings. He doesn't just think of you as someone in his present life. He imagines you being there in the long run, and that says a lot about how much you mean to him. One of the most telling signs is how he talks about future events. He might say things like, "We should go to that concert next summer," or "Imagine us traveling together someday." These comments may seem casual, but they reveal that he's already thinking ahead and wants you to be part of his experiences. A regular friend might invite you to an event happening next week, but someone who is interested in you will make plans that extend far beyond that. He may also discuss life goals and ambitions while considering how they align with yours. If he talks about where he wants to live, career choices, or even personal growth, and he asks for your opinions or suggests that you'd be part of those decisions, it's a clear sign that he sees you as someone important. He might say things like, "I wonder if we'll still be hanging out years from now," or "I could totally see you doing something amazing in the future." These subtle hints suggest that he values your presence in his life beyond the present moment. Another strong indicator is if he brings up relationships or family-related topics in a way that involves you. He might joke about how you'd be as a partner, mention what kind of home he'd like to have one day, or even talk about what life would be like years from now, with you still in it. These are signs that he's subconsciously placing you in his vision of the future, even if he hasn't directly expressed his feelings yet. Ultimately, when a guy talks about the future with you in it, whether it's planning simple activities or imagining life years down the line, it's because he sees you as more than just a temporary part of his life. He doesn't just enjoy the moments you share now. He wants to keep creating more with you, which is a strong sign of deeper emotional attachment. 11. He supports you emotionally and always listens. When a guy is more than just a friend, he goes beyond casual conversations and truly listens to you. He's not just nodding along or waiting for his turn to speak. He's genuinely engaged, remembering the details of what you say and offering thoughtful responses. His emotional support isn't just about being there when things are easy. It's about standing by you when you're struggling, celebrating your victories, and making sure you feel heard and valued. One of the biggest signs of emotional support is his willingness to be present during difficult times. If you're having a bad day, he doesn't dismiss your feelings or change the subject. Instead, he asks what's wrong and actually listens. He may offer advice if you need it, but more importantly, he provides comfort and reassurance. Sometimes, he might just let you vent without interrupting, offering words of encouragement or simply reminding you that he's there for you. His emotional investment also shows in the way he remembers things you tell him. If you mentioned a stressful project at work, he checks in later to see how it went. If you once shared a personal dream or goal, he brings it up months later, showing that he truly pays attention. Unlike a regular friend who might forget minor details, he holds on to them because what matters to you matters to him. Beyond just listening, he actively supports your growth and happiness. If you have a passion or ambition, he encourages you to pursue it, even offering help if he can. He believes in you, sometimes even more than you believe in yourself, and he's always there to lift you up when you feel unsure. Whether it's pushing you to go after a job opportunity, reminding you of your strengths, or celebrating your achievements, he makes it clear that he's invested in your success. You'll also notice that he's a safe space for you. You don't feel judged when you open up to him, and he makes you feel comfortable being vulnerable. If you share something personal, he doesn't just brush it off. He listens with empathy, offering comfort or advice in a way that makes you feel understood. Ultimately, a guy who supports you emotionally and truly listens is showing more than just friendly concern. He's proving, through his actions, that he deeply cares about your well-being and wants to be someone you can rely on. not just as a friend, but as something more. 12. He treats you differently than his other friends. When a guy sees you as more than just a friend, his behavior toward you stands out compared to how he treats others. Even if he has a large social circle, there's something different about the way he interacts with you, whether it's his body language, the way he talks to you, or the effort he puts into your connection. These differences might be subtle, but they are a clear sign that you hold a special place in his life. One of the biggest distinctions is the extra attention he gives you. While he may joke around and be friendly with everyone, he's more engaged and present when he's with you. He listens more intently, remembers details about your conversations, and seems genuinely interested in everything you have to say. You might notice that he laughs more at your jokes, even when they aren't that funny, or that he always makes sure you feel included and comfortable in group settings. His body language also sets you apart. While he might be casual with other friends, he finds subtle ways to be physically close to you, whether it's standing near you, maintaining strong eye contact, or casually touching your arm when he talks. His gestures may be small, but they indicate that he feels more drawn to you than to anyone else. Another way he treats you differently is through his availability and effort. He might respond to your texts faster than he does with others, initiate conversations more often, or go out of his way to help you when you need something. If he's always the first to offer support, adjust his plans to spend time with you, or prioritize your needs over others, it's a strong indication that you're more than just another friend to him. His teasing and compliments may also feel different. While he might joke around with everyone, his teasing with you is more playful and flirty. Similarly, his compliments go beyond the generic ones he gives to others. He notices specific things about you, whether it's your style, intelligence, or personality, and makes sure you know how much he appreciates them. Lastly, the emotional depth of your conversations might be different. He may open up to you about personal matters, share his dreams and fears, or seek your opinion on things that matter to him. If he trusts you with parts of himself that he doesn't share with others, it's a sign that you hold a unique and important space in his life. Ultimately, when a guy treats you differently than his other friends, it's because you are different to him. Whether through his actions, words, or attention, he's making it clear, consciously or unconsciously, that you mean more to him than just friendship.